After his release in 2001, his stepfather died and Don inherited $100,000, which he blew in less than 3 months on substances. Even though his mother, Patricia, knew about this, she was in denial that her son had a drug problem. And it's been said that throughout Don's entire life, she always made excuses for him. It's even been said that his mother treated him more like a partner than a son, and that they had a very strange Norman and Norma Bates-like closeness, which I don't know if you're familiar with the Bates story and all of that, but it's a very odd, super close relationship between a mother and her son. He soon was placed in jail again for violating probation for drug charges. Civil commitment proceedings were initiated, meaning that the state of Florida believed that he should be committed to a mental hospital for the safety of others, and so that he could undergo extensive counseling to determine if he would be likely to reoffend. People who are committed to these programs must stay until they are deemed to no longer pose a risk to themselves or others. And in 2002, he was released. As a condition of his release, he said that he would undergo outpatient treatment and receive injections of a drug that would suppress his sex drive. By 2003, he started refusing to take the shots and stopped participating in that treatment program. He was arrested several more times over the next few years, and in 2006, he was evaluated again for civil commitment due to concern of his repeat offenses and impulse control. However, this time he didn't meet the criteria, even though the doctor that did the evaluation stated that he was attracted to children and was a serious predator. The doctor also diagnosed him with antisocial personality disorder and believed his brain injury affected his impulse control and sexually deviant proclivities. Over the next couple of years, there was even a point when Don Baker-acted himself, which is Florida's version of a 5150 or involuntary mental health treatment. He said he was experiencing hallucinations and had idle thoughts. After treatment, he was released without supervision. In 2012, Don was arrested again, this time for impersonating a DCFS worker and attempting to conduct a RPE kit on a 9-year-old child. He also called the child and said very disturbing things to them on the phone before it was discovered that he actually was not an employee with DCFS, and it was quickly reported to the police. He pled guilty to the charges, but he only spent around a year in prison. 19 days after his release, an anonymous caller reported a tip to Crime Stoppers about Don lurking around a Walmart in Jacksonville, Florida, and acting strangely toward women with children. 2 days later, Don met Rain Periwinkle and her daughters at that very same Walmart. The charges we just went over are only some of Don's charges, as he has over 4 decades of offenses like this, as well as multiple psychologist reports stating that he was in fact a danger to society. He kept being released like a monster being let out of a cage, and this time, this absolute monster and freak was in possession of 8-year-old Cherish Periwinkle, who he had taken from Walmart.